Yes, the Booch is here for WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and the greatest prediction champion of all time is coming to WrestleMania, and he is going to put boots to asses as I retain my Boochcast Championship and I procure the Male Soap Opera Moment Championship and become once again the King in Gold. Well, when it comes to Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, I can honestly say that this right here is going to be an intense match. The build-up to this has been great. These women are truly two of the best to step foot in a wrestling ring as far as the women's division is concerned. And I know for a fact they're going to tear the house down. Now, when I look at the other matches and I see who could potentially be losing their title at WrestleMania, there's a lot of people that I see dropping the title. But I think WWE is going to want to swerve us and have us be in a situation where people don't drop their titles. Like, obviously, they don't want every single person to lose their championship because then it looks too predictable. So I think in order to swerve us, some people are going to retain. And I'm thinking out of all the champions here, who's the one person that can retain their title at WrestleMania and it doesn't bury or hurt anyone? And I can honestly say the one and only person that can do that is Rhea Ripley. So, I might be taking a risk here, but, you know, high risk equals high reward sometimes. So I say Rhea Ripley is going to beat Becky Lynch and remain the Women's World Champion. Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to be honest here. As excited as I am for this match, I do wish Sami Zayn was in a different match. I personally think he should be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that'd be a better spot for him. But I do know it is time for Gunther's Intercontinental title reign to come to an end. I love what he's been doing. I think he's fantastic. He broke the Honky Tonk Man's record, well deserved, but it is coming to a close. And eventually, you're going to run out of people for him to take that belt off of. And obviously, from what I'd heard, Gunther can't exactly leave the country, so obviously he would not be going to France for Backlash or Scotland for Clash of the Castle. There's a lot of international shows taking place. Hell, I think the July pay-per-view is going to be, I think Money in the Bank is supposed to be in Toronto. So there's going to be a lot of international shows, and Gunther can't make them. So I think it's time for him to drop the title to somebody who can do that. And ideally, obviously, a lot of people would love to think Jey Uso. And like I said, if Gunther could lead the country, I think he would retain here, and then Jey Uso would take it from him. But I'm going to go with Sami Zayn to win the Intercontinental Championship because I feel like this is going to be Sami's road to redemption ever since he was gone from injury and the breakup with Kevin and all that. Sami Zayn wins the Intercontinental title. Six-pack tag team ladder match. Why am I not surprised? This right here is a prime example of WrestleMania. You know there's going to be a multi-man match at WrestleMania because we got to get everybody on the card because WrestleMania is a big participation trophy. And, of course, it's going to be a ladder match because we got to see what is going to be a clusterfuck. It's going to be a spot fest. This is not going to be a wrestling match in any way, shape, or form. But I do like some of the teams that are in here, and I do know it's going to be entertaining on some level. And obviously, the match, they said, will end after both titles have been released. And they're saying it's making it possible for the titles to split between two teams. That's got me a little concerned because obviously I don't want these tag titles to split. I don't want to see separate tag teams on separate brands. Because like I said before, the roster isn't strong enough. I know people think it is because of how stacked it is. But then you got to look at Raw, you got to look at SmackDown, and there's not enough tag teams to go around to make it interesting. I prefer us to have one tag team champion. I still maintain the one women's champion and one world champion. I don't even like those separate belts. So I don't want these belts to split. But there is one team that I'm convinced is going to win. And this is going to shock the Wens. It's going to shock Desmond. It's going to shock all the fans of the male soap opera moment. But my prediction for this match, 100%, is the Awesome Truth. I believe The Miz and R-Truth are walking out with the tag team titles. Seeing as how this ladder match was their idea, they've been building to get these two back together to feud with the Judgment Day. And I think that these guys have great chemistry that I wouldn't mind seeing them as tag team champions. Because at least then, if they're tag champs, The Miz won't be putting his sticky reality show fingers on any of the singles championships. Oh, I'm willing to sit through him and R-Truth as tag team champions. So I'll go with the Awesome Truth. Brother versus brother. We've been waiting for this one. Ever since Jimmy turned on Jay, we knew this match was going to happen, and we knew they were going to save it for WrestleMania because it's a WrestleMania caliber match. And also, statistically, it's the third time in WrestleMania history we've had a brother versus brother match, and they all happened within 15 years of each other. The first one was at WrestleMania 10 against Bret Hart and Owen Hart, which is one of the greatest technical matches of all time. Also, 15 years later, we had WrestleMania 25, Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. They had a match. And now, 15 years later at WrestleMania 40, we have Jimmy versus Jay. I'm intrigued to see at WrestleMania 55 who the next brother versus brother match is going to be. But obviously, we got a long time before that. Now we got to focus on this. And I'm going to be brutally honest. Jey Uso's winning this because he is over as a singles competitor. And let's be honest, we have clearly seen from how both these guys have behaved since their breakup that Jey Uso is the Shawn Michaels of this team and Jimmy Uso is the Marty Jannetty. Jimmy's not going to stand on his own 2 feet. He clearly can't. He had to go crawling back to the bloodline to make this story even remotely interesting. So, Jey Uso's got more of a singles future in him than Jimmy does. So I'm going to go with Jey. I'm not going to lie. I love this match. This 6-woman tag match right here. I mean, I was not expecting it to go this way. I kind of hoped when Jade Cargill finally debuted at WrestleMania, she would be in a one-on-one match. But Jade Cargill, I've been waiting to see what she can do in WWE. Obviously, in AEW, people have mixed reactions about how she did. Some people didn't like her wrestling, even though her wrestling was, it wasn't the best, but it didn't suck either. But like I said, I love Jade Cargill. She looks like a wrestler. She walks like a wrestler. She talks like a wrestler. And it's the first time in years we have someone in the women's division that can actually be a fucking star. Because there's not a lot of stars in the women's division. I'm just going to be brutally honest. There's great wrestlers, not a lot of stars. So Jade teaming up with Bianca and Naomi taking on Damage Control. They're winning. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi, they are winning this match. I don't see Jade Cargill losing her debut match. And if they do lose, then Naomi or Bianca, one of them is going to eat the pin. Jade Cargill's not getting pinned. Triple H is smarter than that. He knows he has a star on his hands, and it's going to be a long time before Jade Cargill jobs to anyone. And that's the way it should be. So Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, they're winning. All right. Am I the only one who thinks this tag team match is fucking stupid? I'm sorry. This is goddamn ridiculous. The fact that Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar are not fighting one-on-one at WrestleMania is goddamn ridiculous. They put this match on fucking SmackDown. This was a big-time rivalry with an emotional story behind it, and you make it a tag team match to include Dirty Dominic Mysterio. First of all, Rey and Dom have already fought. Why do we need to see this again? They have not crossed paths since last year's WrestleMania. And now you just want to throw them in there, especially when Dominic is a Raw superstar. And again, this is an example of why do we even have a draft if you're just going to flip people around whenever you damn well please? This is why most people don't take the draft seriously and why I think the separate brands thing is a joke. Because if you don't take it seriously, the rest of us can't. So it's dumb. Not only that, Ray picked a tag team partner. Who's he pick? Fucking Dragon Lee. Hello? Carlito is right next to you. When is Carlito gonna have a WrestleMania match? That's the guy that everybody wants to see. That's the most talented guy in the LWO. This is the guy who's been holding down the fort while Rey was out of action, fighting against Santos Escobar. If anything, this is a motivator for Carlito to eventually turn heel and say, fuck the LWO. Because they want Dragon Lee so desperately to be the next Rey Mysterio. They are grooming him, and it's like grooming a werewolf, to make him the next Rey Mysterio. Because they know Rey is eventually out the door. So this is going to be a bunch of luchador spot monkey bullshit. That's all this is going to be. And I will say, though, that since Dominic is involved, I do feel like they're going to give Dominic a win over Rey Mysterio to kind of even it up and maybe have a third match or whatever to settle it. I'm going to go with Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. That's who I think is winning this. Wow. This match, the tag team match, the Bloodline, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, this is going to be crazy. And the reason it's going to be crazy is because, obviously, the build-up to this has been insane. The Rock has pretty much dominated this entire feud. It's been all about him, which has been good for the ratings, good for attendance. It's helping the build to WrestleMania. But you also got to bear in mind that after WrestleMania, The Rock's going to be gone. So if they can't sustain this without The Rock, then all this goes to shit. In fact, if Cody doesn't finish the story, all this goes to shit. Now, as far as this tag match goes, I'm torn. Because on the one hand, obviously, there's the opportunity for Night 2 to be free of the Bloodline. And have Cody and Roman go one-on-one. And Cody finish the story. And basically Roman Reigns showing that without the family, he's nothing. That's one scenario. The other scenario is The Rock and Roman Reigns go over. Cody goes through Bloodline rules and overcomes the entire Bloodline, even with a little bit of backup if necessary, and is able to beat Roman Reigns, finish the story, and win the title they took from his father in the Garden. And as much as I want this to be a fair fight, I am convinced they are going to give Cody one more obstacle to overcome for him to get the big pop from the fans in Philly, and I think the match is going to be Bloodline rules. So I'm going with The Rock and Roman Reigns to win this match. Cody and Roman fight under Bloodline rules, and then Cody overcomes. Rock and Roman, that's my pick. All right, as we move on to Night 2 of WrestleMania, I'm going to get a lot of heat for what I'm about to say right now. But I will say CM Punk proved why he is the best in the world. He's not even in this match. He'll be doing commentary. But yet, in Chicago, he was able to breathe life into what I can honestly say is hands down the most boring build-up to a WrestleMania match I've ever seen. Ever since Punk got injured and they made it Seth versus Drew, I have not been happy with anything that has gone down. From the moment they announced this match to the promo that happened in Chicago, this build-up has been boring as shit. It's the same stupid crap. We've seen this match 100 times. Also, the only reason Drew's in this match is because he botched a Future Shock DDT that caused Punk to get injured. And I know some people are saying, well, there's other obstacles and this and that. Until I hear otherwise, that's what I saw. Drew McIntyre botched a Future Shock DDT. Now, am I saying Drew is an unsafe worker? No. But this is still a major fuck-up that screwed up a big-time main event. Seth had a money-making opponent in CM Punk, and now he has a glorified TV match with Drew McIntyre, who, in my opinion, is doing a shitty run with this heel turn. I'm sorry. No heel should be saying, I want a WrestleMania moment in front of the fans that was robbed of me during the pandemic. I don't want to hear that shit from a heel. If you're a heel, you don't give a shit what the fans want. You care about what you want. It's fucking stupid. And then you got Seth Rollins, who's using all his good promo shit for the Bloodline feud, because that's the one that's going to draw money. But then he comes back to Drew, and it's the same old song and dance. Dancing around like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I know someone said Jared Leto. No, he's doing the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, saying, I am a revolutionary. I am a visionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. Now sing my song. Oh, whoa. I mean, am I missing anything? I think I just summed up the whole fucking feud for anybody that hasn't been watching the last few weeks and months. This is boring as shit. The only thing good about this match is that we have a bathroom break and that Punk is going to be on commentary to rip these two idiots apart. But because I need to give a prediction, Drew McIntyre is going to win this title, have his moment in front of the fans, and it'll fizzle out in 2 weeks. This WWE Women's Championship match is going to be amazing. Bayley has done great with this rivalry. I love the fact that, she did that Japanese thing to let them know, hey, I learned Japanese. I know you've been talking about me behind my back. I was expecting this to be a killer storyline. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be the main event of night one, and the traditionalist in me would have preferred to see that, but I get it. I understand why the tag match is getting that spot. I was even cool with Seth and Punk having that spot, but once Punk got injured, if this tag match wasn't taking place in the main event, then I would have said Bayley and Io Sky needed main event night one, because Seth and Drew is not a main event worthy match. But either way, I'm excited for this match, and I think Bayley 100% needs to go over. Bayley needs to go over in this match, because Io Sky has been champion long enough, and Bayley should have won this belt a long time ago. The moment she came back, and when Damage Control was first formed, she should have been the one to beat Bianca Belair and end her streak with the title. It should have been her. Bayley should have been champ by now. And it's a travesty she isn't. I'm going with Bayley to finally get her moment with the title. All right. LA Knight, AJ Styles. I should be excited for this match, but I'm not really. The only thing I like about this is that LA Knight's getting a great WrestleMania match, and AJ Styles is a good guy to work with, but I feel like this rivalry is stupid. I've tried to get behind it, but it's just goddamn ridiculous. This is just a match. That's all this is. It really is. This is just a match. This is basically filler. LA Knight, in my opinion, should be going for the United States Championship. He should be the one to beat Logan Paul, and that belt should be going home with him. And then you have him as the U.S. champ until you're ready to make him the world champ. Obviously, I'm going with LA Knight to win this match because Styles doesn't need the win. And LA Knight doesn't need to take any more L's. It's bad enough he's been getting pinned in world title matches or number one contenders matches or even the Elimination Chamber. He's taking a lot of pinfalls, which is not good. LA Knight needs a win, and this is his. Triple threat match for the United States Championship. Well, people already know how I feel about triple threat matches, so I'm not exactly leaping for joy over this. Obviously, love Logan Paul, love Randy Orton, love Kevin Owens. But I feel like one of two things is going to happen here. I feel like either Kevin's going to beat Logan for the title, or Kevin and Randy are going to pin each other and Logan's not going to be involved in the decision. So this could be a way for Logan to drop the title without taking a loss and maintaining his, not really being pinned streak. And I got a weird feeling they're going to use this excuse to put the U.S. title on Kevin Owens. And I really don't want him to be U.S. champ. I feel like he's been there already. Randy Orton, yeah, maybe he could use it. He doesn't hold mid-card belts that often. But I really love what Logan Paul is doing, and I'm not ready for him to drop the title, but I strongly believe that he is, so I'll just go with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is going to win. A Philadelphia street fight. Every time I hear those words, I think about Rocky Balboa and Tommy Gunn. Probably the best Philly street fight ever. But the Pride and the Final Testament, this is going to be a fight. Obviously, it's going to be an all-out war, an all-out brawl. You know, everybody's going to be fighting, getting involved. B-Fab and Scarlett are going to beat the shit out of each other, even if they're not even involved in the match, really. But I got a feeling, as much as I like the Pride, I feel like the Final Testament needs to establish themselves as a dominant heel faction. I feel like the Pride can live to get over another day. So I'm going to go with the Final Testament to win this match. 100%. Final Testament. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This is the match we've been waiting for since last year when Cody should have won the title. I still maintain he should have won that night. But I will give credit where it's due. WWE found a way to get away with it. They found a way for Roman to retain and to tell a story with Cody and give him the adversity that apparently a lot of the marks who don't know their history were claiming that he lacked, which made me want to vomit. Like at this point, if you feel like Cody still needs more adversity and struggle, you're either a troll or a moron. And I'll say that to your face. It is time. Cody Rhodes needs to win. And for a variety of reasons. They have set this rivalry up. They have set this build up to this match between Cody having to win all these matches, overcome all these odds against multiple different people, and all this shit he has gone through leading up to WrestleMania. And what happened on the go home of Raw. If Cody Rhodes does not leave Philadelphia as the undisputed champion, this entire story goes to shit. It doesn't matter how great those moments were, how big of a ratings they drew, the sellout attendance. Yeah, it's great. But now you got to end the story properly. You can have great moments in the middle of a story. You can have a good beginning. But if your ending sucks, that's all people are going to remember. And Cody will be dead. You can consider Cody buried, dead, and done if he doesn't walk out of here with the undisputed title. It's all over. He will not recover from this. Like I said, they got away with it once. They will not be able to get away with it twice. Because you've had Cody beaten down without any way of getting the upper hand. There was never a time where the bloodline left Cody laying and then Cody took out the bloodline, had them retreating, or laid out one of the guys or whatever. It hasn't happened. It's just been Cody and Seth getting beat down by The Rock and Roman Reigns, the tribal chief and the final boss. Cody's been taking the beating of a lifetime. So whether this match ends in a fair fight or it ends with bloodline rules, it needs to end with Cody Rhodes being the new champion. It is time for Roman to drop this title. WWE will get nothing out of this when Roman drops this title. Because afterwards, The Rock's going to leave and Roman's going to leave. And you're going to be left with nothing except Cody Rhodes being an epic fail that no one can get behind or take seriously because he failed again. If you want to preserve Cody as your top babyface, if you want Cody to still be loved, if you want Cody to be the guy that's going to carry this company, he has to win the title. It's time. There's no one left for Roman to face. There's nowhere left for the Bloodline storyline to go. It's done. He's run through everybody. Cody needs the win, and I strongly believe that Triple H is not stupid enough to let this slide. So Cody Rhodes wins the title.
Hey, Damascus Dez here. Still the champion. And still going to be the champion after WrestleMania. here I am bringing my predictions for the WrestleMania first match. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, and I love this match, and I would love to say that Rhea's going to continue her momentum, but at this point, if not Becky, then who? It's very simple. Becky Lynch is walking out of here with the title, and anybody says otherwise, you're fooling yourself. We got Gunther. We got Sammy. It's WrestleMania. Once again, if not Sammy, then who? They're making a big deal about this, how this working, the way Gunther attacks Sammy. Just makes it clear to me that they're wanting Gunther to finish out strong until Sammy takes the title away from him. We've got Judgment Day, DIY, The Awesome Truth, New Day, A-Town Down Under, New Catch Republic, all in one match. And it's a ladder match, which anybody who's ever watched Royal Rumble with R-Truth knows he's pretty decent with a ladder. Vinny's going to love this. Vinny's going to agree with this. I'm going to go with The Awesome Truth. I'll be honest with you, I'd rather it go to DIY because I feel like they deserve it better. But Awesome Truth, it's always nice to see R-Truth finally get a little bit of his dues because he kind of been used as a joke pretty consistently, and getting his comeuppance on Judgment Day will be great. We've got Jimmy and Jey Uso. Come on, they ain't doing shit with Jimmy. I love him, he's great, but he's talented, but Jay's a main event star, Jimmy's not there yet. Jay wins this one, hands down. We have Bianca, Jade, and Naomi versus Damage Control has been on top. And I think now with Bayley gone and they're pushing Dakota Kai as the leader, it's a point now where I feel like it has to go. Like normally I would say it has to go to Damage Control because they've made big changes and Damage Control will take a big loss here. But it's also Jade's first match in WWE. And it's Naomi's first big match back. Like, she's had a couple of small things here, but this will be her first big match back. I think Bianca, Jade, and Naomi are going to take this one. We've got LWO in Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, and we got Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. I will say this. Throwing Dragon Lee in the mix here does make this a harder guess for me, because I felt like Dragon Lee coming in is supposed to be the, oh shit, now they're going to win. But I still feel that way, except last year at WrestleMania, Rey beat Dom. And I think if they're going to make a big deal about this, if they're going to have Rey and Dom do their thing properly, Dom has to get one up on Rey. And I feel like Rey is doing fine. He could take this loss. It's not a big deal. Dom has got rising momentum, and Santos, they're trying to make him look like a strong leader with Legado del Fantasma. So it has to go to Santos and Dirty Dom. That's my prediction with that. And finally, we got the main event for night one. We've got The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth. Now, this one's tough. This one's very tough, because this one could go either way. We've got The Rock and Roman. You know, we know that they're making them look strong. We know that the whole purpose here is to make... It's going to go one of two ways. We're going to make it look like Cody has no chance at WrestleMania, or we're going to make it to where we finally have a fair fight with Cody, and Cody wins that way. And both are very interesting, because I'll say this, if The Rock and Roman win, Bloodline rules for night two, it's really tough to see another way to see Cody winning, because we know what happens when the Bloodline have control. But when the Bloodline does when the bloodline isn't there, this Cody has it in the bag, right? Well, I'm going to say this. This one here is going to be one of my tie. Normally I would need a tiebreaker because it happens. But as the champion, I don't really need a tiebreaker. If I'm involved in the winning tie, then I stay champion. Champion's advantage. But in this particular case, if I wasn't the champion, the tiebreaker here, I would say The Rock turns on Roman. And he's been working with Cody all along. That's the story. That's the story, and that's how we finish the story, and we get a fair fight on night 2 of WrestleMania. Now, moving on to night 2 of WrestleMania, we've only got 5 matches on this on this night. We've got Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is finally going to get his comeuppance. We're going to see a title change here. Seth needs to, from what I understand, he needs a surgery on his back. He needs to do some stuff to guarantee and maintain the longevity of his career. If he doesn't do this, then he's not going to be able to do this for much longer. So I think that he's going to take this loss to Drew McIntyre, and he's going to go away for a little while, spend some time with the family, heal up, get a surgery done, and come back, in 6 months to a year or whatever. And when he does come back, he'll be better than ever. But Drew McIntyre is going to win that title. Io Sky versus Bayley. Bayley losing here just doesn't make sense. I love Io Sky. She's had a great run as champion. And I would love to see her be champion again. I don't think that she needs a super long championship reign. I think this is one of those Bayley's getting her redemption story. She's apologized. She's made a big deal about proving that she's better and doing the "you stabbed me in the back," like I might have been a terrible person, but these were my girls and I did anything for them. Bayley is telling a hell of a story. Io Sky she's been working really well with her, but now Bayley needs that title. Bayley wins. We got LA Knight versus AJ Styles. This one's interesting because AJ hasn't had the best run of luck as of late. And in a lot of ways, I feel like AJ needs this win. But if they're really going to push for the LA Knight thing, they have to capitalize on it. Because LA Knight, we've said it before and say it again, he doesn't have but maybe 10 years at best that he could do this. That he's already 40 something, right? So LA Knight, he needs this win. AJ Styles has had hot road championships. LA Knight needs this championship. And obviously this is not a championship match, but if they're going to have him go for a title, he needs to be getting big wins at big pay-per-views, and WrestleMania is the night to do it. LA Knight is going to be doing this. We got Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. This one's interesting. I want to see Randy Orton win this. But I feel like Randy Orton's going to catch Logan Paul in an RKO, and then he'll turn around and get hit with a stunner or a pop-up powerbomb, and I believe KO is going to win this. Kevin Owens is, because he lost and was cheated out of the title against Logan Paul. So I believe Kevin Owens is going to walk out of WrestleMania the United States champion. And finally, we got the main event, and I don't think anybody's going to disagree with this. Cody Rhodes is walking out of there with the WWE Universal Championship. As always, I've got a little something for you. The champ is here, and not today, Jesus. Deuces.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Male Soap Opera Moment, the best podcast, well, according to many of you, that listen in all of a wrestling podcast landia, here in Wentz World with the one, the only, the wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci, and our resident champion, Damascus Des, will he be blinded by the light on the way to Philadelphia for WrestleMania 40 and come to the truth that the Wens will be prediction champion after Sunday night? A 2-day extravaganza, WrestleMania XL, or XL in Roman numerals, which means 40. I know, right? We learn something new every day, but you probably already knew that. Let's get to it. The first match, we are going to talk about Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Now, I'm not going to belabor my points like one wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci. I am going to get to it. Now, Damascus Des said that it's basically impossible for Rhea Ripley to win this match and continue her momentum. I agree with him. I think Becky Lynch is going to win this match. Next match we're going to talk about is Gunther versus Sami Zayn. This is an interesting one for the IC championship. You know, Damascus Des asked a question. If not Sami, then who? Who? Well, the question is answered. It's Gunther. He's not winning this match. He's winning by a lot. I'm predicting Gunther to maintain this championship, thus giving me the edge if I'm right in this prediction championship bout. Next match, Judgment Day in a 6-pack ladder match. You know, if anybody is going to bring the Judgment Day down, who is it going to be? Who? Probably the New Day and company. Could be the Awesome Truth. It could be DIY. There's so many options here. I am going to go with the Awesome Truth. I agree with Damascus Des here that the Awesome Truth will win this match. Next match, Jay versus Jimmy, brother against brother at WrestleMania 40. I hate to agree with Desmond so much, but he's speaking a lot of truth. What are they planning to do with Jimmy Uso? The answer is really simple. Not as much as they plan to do with Jey Uso. He's main event status, baby. He's got a t-shirt that says it. Yeet. So for those reasons and the outlandish yeet, I am going to go with a Jey main event Uso. Next match involves 6 women. I am going to go with the threesome of the EST of WWE, Jade Cargill and Naomi. Naomi's return. Jade Cargill's, to Vinny's point, her first WrestleMania. This makes sense, right? This makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go with the 3 that I mentioned. Now we have another family battle here. We talked about brother against brother earlier. Now we have a father-son battle, but they have some help in their corners, as Ray has Dragon Lee backing him up, and Dirty Dom has Santos Escobar in his corner. You know, both of you gentlemen made really good points. It really is about what they plan on doing here. Des, you made a solid insight with Rey Mysterio being able to take the L here and surviving. It's okay. I kind of feel, though, that they're going to do right by Rey and give him and Dragon Lee the win at WrestleMania. So that's 2 matches, Desmond, that we disagree on. Let's see how this whole thing pans out. Now, night 1 shall conclude with this tag team match, or be close to concluding with this tag team match, probably the second to the last match. Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Now, both of you had some interesting takes on this match. There's so many ways they can go. I mean, Booch, I love the idea of The Rock turning on Roman Reigns and kind of saying, I've been with Cody all along. This is all a plan to dethrone, to make sure that everybody knows that Rocky here is the head of the table, not Roman. It's Rocky. So that's one feasible option. There's another one that could be that they're just going to play this thing out like they presented it. To make Cody look like a superhero, though, wouldn't it be sweet if Roman Reigns and The Rock win Saturday, make it Bloodline rules on Sunday, and Cody still defeats the Bloodline. I think that's the direction they're going to go to make Cody that much stronger, right? To kind of like even the playing field after all the times that Roman Reigns has retained his championship with help from the Bloodline. Let's just say he loses Sunday night his championship, even with help from the Bloodline. And I think that's exactly how they're booking this. They're going to make Cody look like a freaking superhero with a little help from the outside. I would expect that. I would definitely expect that. So this is my prediction. Desmond, you think Cody's winning Saturday? I disagree. It's going to be Bloodline rules Sunday with Cody still coming out on top. That's a little sneak preview for that match, but here we go. Here we go. Rollins versus McIntyre. Booch, couldn't agree more. Crappy build-up. Should be a way better match than the build-up to the match itself. I am going to go with Drew McIntyre here. I think it's time. They turned him heel. It's time to pull the trigger on that and let him have some time. This also kind of frees Rollins up for some assistance Sunday night to come to Cody's aid. Definitely think that's going to happen. So watch for that. Watch for that run interference there. Yeah, I think Drew McIntyre wins this match. And we have a new champion, heavyweight style. Io Sky versus Bayley. Listen, Bayley is doing her own thing apart from damage control. This is going to be a great match. This is not one you want to miss. These two ladies are going to put it all on the line. You know, the real ones know that this is going to be a real good one if they put it on like we all expect them to. I think it's Bayley's time. It's her time to get that belt back. Why not? Why not? Why not have Bayley be the women's champion again? Makes sense to me. Now, here we go. LA Knight, non-title match versus AJ Styles. No gold on the line. Nothing to put over your shoulder, but just a lot of pride inside here and up here. And the WWE Universe is demanding that LA Knight win this match. If they put AJ Styles over in this match, that is just obscene. That is obscene. I hope to God they don't do that because that will destroy any momentum that LA Knight has. He needs this. Can we just be simple? He needs this match. He needs this win. And I believe he will get it. Because if he doesn't, it's big time trouble. Now, this is interesting. Now, Desmond, you said that it could be Randy. You know, you'd love to see that. Or he'd be close to winning and then he'd catch a stunner. But I believe that you guys picked Kevin Owens. One of you picked Kevin Owens, at least. I got to go back and listen. But Booch is our official recapper. He does the recounts. I think he's only had it for a few months, right? I mean, it would be too soon. Kevin Owens he's already been there. Like, he doesn't need the United States Championship. Logan Paul is the guy to hold the belt. That belt's too beneath Randy Orton, right? He was just added to this. This is going to make it a better match with him in it. You know, it's from out of nowhere. We're going to see a couple of those. This is going to be another great match. This is another one you don't want to sleep on. Do not miss this. Refill your chips during the preview, you know. Get the paper towel, you know, so that way you don't have to miss that stunner. Oh, stunner! And you'll be like, oh, I missed it because I had Cheeto fingers. And I got tired of licking my fingers because it's disgusting, right? See, paper towel. Just get the paper towel. Avoid all the issues altogether. 8-person tag team match. This one should be fun. The Pride versus the Final Testament. I don't really have a dog in this fight. I'm going to go with the Pride. Why not? I'm going to go with the Pride here. I believe at least one of my competitors went with the Final Testament, so we'll have a definitive winner for sure. And then there were two men standing in the center of the ring to determine who would walk out of WrestleMania and end this season of WWE as champion. This match should end with Cody winning. We all think that's probably the way they're going to book this. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that they don't drag this out. Look, Roman Reigns has been champion since August 30th of the pandemic. So he's been champion for 1,313 days. Bob Backlund, the number 2, 2135. Are they going to let him pass Bob Backlund? Because if so, he's got some time, right? He's got 2+ years to go. Then, if they choose to let him pass Bob Backlund, do they let him hold it to pass Bruno Sammartino, who eclipsed 2,800 days, 2,803 to be exact? This is the question, because it's like, if he's already been champion for, it'll be 4 years in August. The question that WWE needs to answer right now, this being WrestleMania, is, do they ever plan on anybody replacing Bruno Sammartino as the longest tenured champion in WWE history? And if the answer is yes, is Roman the guy? You know, is he the guy? I mean, the answer has to be yes. Who else? To your question earlier, Desmond, if not fill in the blank, then who? Who? Nobody. He's beaten everybody. That's why he has to keep beating people. He has to embarrass Cody Rhodes, which I think, I said earlier, like, I believe that Cody was going to win. And then win Sunday. And then I looked up this stat and it threw me. Because smart people change their minds. Smart people don't stick to the first set of facts. They weigh everything they see. They don't have confirmation bias off the first set of data. They continue to look for holes. They continue to say, where am I wrong? Where could I be wrong? And I think everybody that thinks Cody Rhodes is walking out of WrestleMania champion is dead wrong. Dead wrong. And it's still going to happen. It's going to happen because of bloodline rules, because of them winning Saturday night. The streak will continue. I've changed my mind. That's right. The Wens has done it. 180 here. You heard it first earlier. You put your money down. Now call your bookies. Dial the number. Hello, I want my money on Roman instead. Thank you. Sorry, Cody Crybabies. You're going to have to live with it. It's another year of Roman Reigns as champion, because he will be the man who passes Bruno Sammartino. And that, my friends, is the end of the show. We'll see how all this pans out. Will we continue to see Damascus Desmond as our prediction champion? Time will tell. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, we will never, ever leave an episode of the Male Soap Opera Moment without a few key catchphrases, one of which is, have a nice day.
Dang.
As always, I've got a little something for you. The champ is here, and not today, Jesus. Deuces.